Scream 7 might have the best mystery in the franchise, but the worst motive of them all. And if you start asking simple questions about the plot, it starts to fall all apart. And I'm not kidding. I'm your host, Aaron Haig, and with me is your other host,
Libby Collins.
and welcome back to the Forget the Critics. Today, we are going to be talking about Scream 7. Now, fans online are completely split. Some are saying it's fun, surprising, and scary, but others are calling it very messy and illogical. And honestly, we can see both sides. So today, we are breaking down what worked and what absolutely did not work. Moving on to the very first thing that we are going to be talking about today. For the most part of this entire movie, I didn't know who the killer was. And multiple suspects that we had believed this entire time could be the Ghostface killers were, one, starting off with that creepy neighbor Lucas. You and I both agreed, like, he looked super sus, right?
Yeah, he did. He had a weird, like, obsession with Sydney and just, like, all the trauma she went through. He kept, like and he was outside. He seemed really interested in the house after that initial man had broken in and acted like Ghostface.
Yes, he had a super weird obsession, and they did a really good job at making him look like a possible suspect. There's a lot of people, like for instance the boyfriend, who the entire movie Sydney was saying, "You got to watch out for the boyfriend. You got to watch out for the boyfriend." They did a really
Mhm.
good job of directing your attention away from who could have actually been the suspect. Like one person who wasn't really investigated much, but I saw multiple times that looked really sus with that was that theater director, and he had a little bit of a motive by yelling at Tatum when they were doing that play.
Mhm.
You remember that?
Yeah, he did seem a little, off-putting, like I think I don't know, they, like, specifically had that camera on him when he was standing outside the caution tape that first night someone broke into their house.
Yes, he was standing
Do you
there,
remember
and
that?
yes, and you could see Sydney looking at him and the boyfriend, and they looked very weird.
Mhm.
It was
Yeah,
sus.
that was really weird. Also, while we're talking about the boyfriend, can we talk about how bad of a loose end that is?
Yes, that was terrible. So I actually have that written down here. Why did he make that video and claiming he was recreating to see if it was possible to make stew on someone else's face? But he had said the
Yeah,
craziest line ever.
I thought it was crazy how like, yeah, he was maybe trying to experiment and put Stu's face on his own and, like, do the AI for that, but for him to, like, go all out and yell, like, "Oh, I'm gonna kill you, Sydney, I'm gonna kill your daughter," like, stuff like that, that
Yes.
was really weird.
Yeah, that makes 0 sense why he would have done that. Because for one, if you truly do like this girl, and you're just trying to help her out by figure out if it's possible to use AI to do this. Why are you saying that? Like, why are you recreating it in that way? So,
Mhm.
in some sense, it makes him look super guilty. But then they just end up killing him with no explanation. So then you're really just sitting here like, what was the point of that, really? You know?
Yeah, not sure what the point of that was, but while we're talking about how the boyfriend got killed, did you think it was weird that when he arrived, he didn't have a car? 'Cause he
What do you
for
mean he didn't have a
context,
car?
everyone who's watching this, for context, when, oh my god, what is her name? Tatum. When Tatum and all her
Tatum, yes,
friends were together in that one little bar eating pizza and whatever, um, Tatum started to get, like, a really bad feeling, and she had seen, like, her mom cry I don't know, she was very emotional, and she wanted to go home, and so Ben, her boyfriend, offered to bring her did he say he was gonna bring her home, or where did he say he would bring her?
to that studio that her mom was at.
Oh, okay. So, yes, so he offered to bring her to the studio, so they go out and you see, he opens the door for Tatum, she gets in the car, and then as he's walking around to the other side, his laptop is just conveniently sitting there right on that
Right,
armrest, and it
right.
just opens right up, and it's these green screen AI videos of him trying to look like Stu, okay? And this is where she gets super sussed out, so she hits him in the face with it, and it knocks him out, and that's when she gets out of the car, she sees someone dressed as Ghostface and runs away. But I thought it was weird that, like, if you think about it, she was running from Ghostface all that time, and he had to have regained consciousness in that car, and then instead of deciding to drive around and try to find Tatum, he ran to her? Like, why
Oh,
didn't
I
he have
see
a
what you're
car?
saying. Yeah, he showed up and he was like walking.
Yeah,
That's
that's so
super
weird.
weird. Yeah. And they made it seem like the killer had disappeared and he showed up, so it kind of seemed like was he the killer and quickly like took off. It kind of felt like he was trying to hide the fact that maybe he was another killer by being there at the same time that the Ghostface killer was, but the Ghostface killer disappears the second he shows up, you know?
I feel like the producers just wanted you to think that Ben was another Ghostface. I don't think he actually was. I feel like maybe he was just really curious about, um, like, everything that had happened and, like, all these, like, phone calls and everything, you know?
Yeah.
Like, he probably was just, because they did say he was kind of like a tech nerd, so he probably just was like, "Dang, like, if people think these videos of Stu Macher are AI, like, I wonder if I could make them," and then that's why he was trying to make them, but I feel like when he showed up and, like, conveniently Ghostface disappeared, I think they wanted you to think that he was actually Ghostface, but I knew it, and then when Ghostface came around and killed him, sorry guys, spoiler, Ben dies, when Ghostface came around and killed him, I wasn't even surprised, like, I knew he wasn't Ghostface.
I had thought he was. But it is that's another prime example of how they're just like it was really good at diverting your eyes away from who like possibly could be the target. And I
Mhm.
think I think there it's kind of a catch 22 here. Like yes, it was really hard to figure out who the true killer was, but also at the same time you'd never think that these people are the true killers because here's a negative I'm going to bring up. Um the motive behind these killers were horrible.
Mhm. I
What I mean
agree.
by that is this this movie builds a complicated plan without a good reason. And so I think where this movie was trying to go was we've already had 6 Scream movies. It's kind of always been the same where someone tries to kill Sydney that's somehow related, whether it's a stepbrother, a cousin, a cousin of this person who somehow knew Sydney, who most of them had a decently fine reason for not liking Sydney, but these people I felt like didn't make sense. Starting off with the psych ward doctor.
Mhm.
He didn't even mention a reason for wanting to attack the Prescotts. We don't know if he killed the dad or tried to stab the dad or if that was the girl. I'm not really sure. But the only thing we
Yeah.
can really gather is that when the neighbor lady, I forget her name, when she had checked herself into the psych ward, she convinced him, the doctor, and the cam guy, the first killer, to do all this. But there is no proof of like why would you do this? Like what did she offer you that was good enough to be like, all right, yeah, sure, I'll just attack this random family for no reason. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I think she had said that she was in New York when she had read the book, and New York was when Gail and everyone else got attacked while Sydney was trying to get away from the life. And so that's when she had moved. And then that's when Jessica was talking about how, she had read the book and she was changed and she felt betrayed because Sydney had moved from New York. So she checked herself into a psych ward that was in the new town she moved to. But then when she had gotten out, she had actually moved to become neighbors with Sydney. So
Oh, I
yeah.
see. Oh, that's really
Yes.
interesting. So, like, her friend stabbed her in the back. That's crazy.
Basically, because Sydney hadn't known her other than the neighbor. But I mean, I don't personally think that that motive is even great by itself. Like, you read her book, and then you just, I guess maybe that is a little bit psychotic. So you can say that's a good motive to kill, but it's just not. It's not what Scream normally does. they tried to be different, they tried to change it up, maybe, like, give you something fresh, so then you didn't think, "Oh, here we go, another Scream movie, it's gonna be the same thing," and they tried to change it up by doing that, but I just don't think it was well executed. I mean, even with her trying to like, she literally had to convince 2 other people because they had no relation to them at all. So,
Yeah.
to me to me, that just makes 0 sense.
No, I agree with you. I don't think that motive was very strong either. I think I feel like the whole point of a lot of these people is just or I not the whole point, but like a common theme between everyone is that there's just like an obsession and like fascination with everything that happened to Sydney Prescott. And people, I think they get too curious and read too far into it and it like takes over their lives.
Yeah, I think that it was interesting twist, it just didn't work out. There wasn't enough puzzle pieces put together to make it work. Um,
Mhm.
but moving on to Sydney Prescott herself, this might be kinda controversial, I don't know if you've heard me say this, but I think Sydney made some really terrible parenting decisions, and I'll give her some credit because she had a bit of a character arc in the end where she started sharing a little bit of more information with her daughter Tatum. But I think one starting off, not bringing her with her is really what started this rage with Sydney. Was I'm just trying to think logically here. If, Ghostface is always, trying to single people out, why would you not bring your daughter with you? Your husband, he's a cop. He's
Mhm.
with the police. He can handle himself. Your daughter's just gonna be sitting at home, right? So bring her with you to the psych ward because you'll be with her to protect her. If she's by herself at home,
Yeah.
she could be singled
Well,
out
the thing
easily.
is, she wasn't left by herself. She was left under her dad's supervision. If you if you think back to that conversation she had, with those 2 kids, the 2 interns of Gail Lewis or Gail Lewis. Wait, is that the girl
Gail
from Walmart?
Lewis. Yes. Gail is the reporter in this movie, though.
Gail Weathers?
Yes.
My gosh. I'm so embarrassed. That's so funny. Shout out Gail Lewis. Um,
Signing out.
um, yeah, the interns of Gail Weathers, if
Mhm.
you remember those 2, they were sitting in the living room with Tatum, and they were talking to her about everything, and they were like, "Well,
Yes.
if we do this the old-fashioned way, like, we get all the suspects in one room, and, like, we figure it out pretty quick who's Ghostface," and Tatum was like, "Okay, like, yeah, we can do that, but we have to get around my dad." And then
Yeah.
they
I
did.
do remember that. Yeah, I guess
So,
that
I think
completely
Sydney thought that Tatum was with the dad, and the dad, I think, was just kinda stupid.
yeah. Well, I mean, yeah. That was, like, totally going against what you should be doing as a cop. Like, why would you go into a garage full of blind corners? That was stupid.
Yeah, that was really
That's ano
stupid.
that's a conversation for another day. But, I mean, I think everyone will agree that, like, hiding her past was completely wrong of her. I mean, what it's I think
Mm,
she was here's what I'm gonna say. Sydney, in her head, was trying to protect her daughter by not telling her what happened in her past because she didn't want her daughter to turn out like her, but I think she is scared of her past, and she's still very, insecure about it, that's what I think.
insecure?
Yeah.
I don't understand why you think she's insecure. Insecure about her past? I
Yes.
completely, absolutely can see why she would withhold information from her children because, first of all, as they say in the movie, the daughter is only 17, okay? So, I do think that an entire, like, group of kids that you're friends with being murdered is a really heavy topic for younger kids, like, maybe she could have been a few years younger when she first started hearing details, but I do think, like, for the most part growing up, Tatum probably I'm sure heard, like, all sorts of stuff like, "Oh, your mom is Sydney Prescott? Like, wow, she's so badass, like, she fought off Ghostface," and she's probably like, "Yeah, whatever." Like, I do think, though, that hearing, like, really gory details and, like, hearing it from Sydney's perspective is probably something that you have to be a little bit older to understand because I just think,
She's
it
17.
wouldn't even have any well, okay, another thing is her mom never probably thought they would end up in that situation. I mean, as far as she knew, Stu was dead, everyone was dead, like, no one theoretically should have been attacking the family again, and she moved, and I think she was just trying to completely move on from that point of her life and leave it in the past and, like, start fresh, clean slate, you know? She probably didn't wanna bring up old trauma.
That's what I'm saying. I think because it was so much old trauma for herself that she hasn't gotten over it herself. And I don't think that she was as much trying to shield her daughter from it, that it was still deep down rooted inside of her own issues she hasn't figured out yet. And I think that's the main reason for not telling her daughter. Cuz I mean like she said the
Are
entire
you, like,
movie.
upset that she still hasn't processed that, like, watching all her friends get murdered?
Yeah, I mean I would have already processed it.
Wow, that's a crazy take.
I
You would
mean,
have processed that?
yep, sure would have. I mean,
Aaron, ugh, that's the worst
what?
take you've had on this channel.
I didn't like it. What can I guys say, okay? I mean, she literally said it herself the entire movie, right? You can watch all the stab movies if you want to learn about what happened to me. You can read the books. Okay, Sydney, if you're going to tell your daughter to go watch the movies and read the books to learn about yourself, why don't you just tell her yourself, right? That's what I think. And so because she keeps saying that, because she keeps telling her and is just blowing her off, I think that she still deep down has problems with herself. Like she needs to, I don't know, accept herself for what happened or, you know?
No, I don't know. What? I
Yeah.
can't. I'm sorry, I don't understand what you're saying.
If she
So,
was
you're
truly
upset
trying to
that
shield her daughter
Sydney
from it, she wouldn't have told her to watch the movies and read the books. She just doesn't want to talk about it because she still deep down hasn't like gotten over it. She still is there's something inside of her that is still stuck on the past.
but I get that, but why do you sound upset about that? Like, I feel like that's duh. You watch everyone you're close with get murdered and you're expected to just, like, move on from that? That's not how, like, grieving works. It's like, when things that are traumatic to you happen, you don't just, like, forget about them. I think you always carry that with you, you just learn to manage it. So I
Yeah,
think
but
her
she's
managing
managing
it
it
was just
terribly.
I don't think so. I think her managing it was just not talking about it openly, you know? Like, she's like, "If you're interested, there are so many resources for you to look at, but I don't wanna talk about it because it's probably not something she's comfortable with."
That's what I'm saying. Like, because she hasn't come to terms and she's not comfortable talking about it and it's a problem within her, it's not she's trying to shield her daughter. That's what I'm saying. Like, she keeps saying that she's trying to shield her daughter from it. She doesn't want her daughter to become who she was. That's not why. It's because she is still grieving over everything. She still hasn't come to terms with things. That's what I'm trying to argue
Okay,
right now.
so we're saying the same thing,
Maybe. I don't think
basically.
so, though. I think, all right, basically.
I think it sounds like we're saying the same thing. You just sound more upset about it.
Well, because you were arguing with me, so then I was arguing back.
Should we move on to our positives for the movie?
I'm done reviewing the movie.
Did you even say any positives?
Yeah, I did.
What did you say? I think we need to highlight those a little bit better.
Um, I think I think there are more things wrong with it than there are right. I I did I didn't think it was terrible. I just think that it was a twist, that they tried to make work and it just didn't. Like they tried to be different. I respect that, but it felt it felt like they were just trying to be different just to be different, and they didn't try too hard. Like the mystery was strong, and I think that was like kind of the best part was just the mystery of the movie. I just think the motive was weak. And when it comes to this franchise, I think that the motive is everything, and without that, what do you have? So that's kind of my
What do
my
you rate
end
this
take.
movie out of 10?
Um, I'm gonna give this like a 6 out of 10.
Really? Okay,
Yeah,
well, I'm rating it higher. I liked it. I always like the Scream movies. Um, and I agree with everything you're saying, but I just, found it more enjoyable than you, I guess. And that's okay. We can disagree on that. Like, I thought the mystery was really good. I didn't care as much about the loose ends. Like, I still noticed them, but you know, you can't know everything.
I agree. You can't know everything. Like the boyfriend thing that doesn't affect me. Like, yes, it's a negative I brought up, but it doesn't really affect the overall movie itself. It's just the killers. They don't add up, right? And so if you have
Yeah,
killers who don't really have true motives, then what are you killing for, right? At this point, you might as well just call it like
killing for the love of the game, dude.
right. Like it shouldn't be
2026,
called.
that's how it goes.
It shouldn't be called a Scream movie, though. Like, if you have killers with no motive, it shouldn't be a Scream movie. It should just be a different horror movie called, like, Psychotic Break. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? And then also another thing that I haven't brought up that I didn't like is there wasn't a lot of investigating. Like, Gail and Sydney try to go to the psych ward and they figure out a little bit, but that's about it. Then they just get attacked again and the movie's over. There's not a lot of investigating. And I wish I would have seen more of
Yeah.
that, them trying to really truly figure out who it was, but instead these killers just gave themselves up like really quickly.
There were so many stupid parts too where you're just like, "Oh my god, what a dumb mistake." Like, how could you make that stupid mistake? Like, the dad walking into the garage with all those blind corners, or
Yes.
when, Tatum shoots through the wall and hits the murderer, but is, like, too scared to shoot him in the head. Come on, bro. Shoot him in the head. You always gotta shoot him in the head. Everyone knows that. Or, like,
Yep.
all the kids just completely disregarding the curfew and deciding to go to that bar. Like, after hours, I'm like, "Yes, like, you guys are going to get killed, you're asking for it."
Yeah, I think it's a great point you're bringing up is I feel like this movie really played a lot into the dumb horror movie. Like,
Mhm.
say you watch a really really stereotypical horror movie where everyone's super dumb, this would go underneath that category because I mean you got Tatum running through the street just banging on random doors. Why don't you just keep running? Because I
I
mean
know.
you're gonna outrun him, and then you got
And why
you got
not
the
run to a
people.
house, bro? Or why not
Yes.
run to the police station? Why are you going downtown where it's curfew, like, everything's closed anyways?
Yeah, and she's banging on doors saying open up. Who are you yelling at, bro? No one's here,
Yeah.
and you
Just
know no one's
causing
here.
a scene for no reason, and all you're doing is
Really,
leading the killer right to you. And,
really,
of course,
yes.
her phone wasn't on silent mode. I was like, "Are
Oh
you
my.
kidding me? You're running from a killer and your ringer is on?"
Yeah, no,
Oh
this
my
was
god.
really, really stupid. Like, there was a lot of stereotypical stupid horror movie scenes in this, so
Yeah, but I do think I liked it for that reason just because it was, like, almost kinda like classic, you know?
yeah, I
And
could see that.
another thing I liked, and I think you said this after we had watched the movies, there was actually, like, a decent amount of jump scares that kinda get you.
Yeah, there are good jump scares in this one, like, a lot at the beginning, especially.
Mhm.
So,
Yeah, I liked
that's
that.
pretty good. Alright,
Yeah. Okay, now I feel satisfied. I feel, content, and we can move on to the next bit. What do you have for
good.
us today?
Okay, I have a question for you. Kiss, Mary Kill, Ghostface, Michael Myers, and Jason.
Okay. Wait, kiss, marry, kill?
Mhm.
Probably wait, I feel like I have, like, really weird reasons for all these. Probably kill, um, Michael Myers. those movies aren't my favorite of, like, all of the 3, you know?
Okay.
Not my favorite. Probably Kiss, Ghostface, because he has a hot voice,
Okay.
and then marry, Jason, because
Why?
I probably could, like, fix him.
You think you can fix him?
Yeah, like,
Why do
I
you think you
low-key
can
feel like
fix
if you were
Jason?
just I think if you were just, like, nice to him and just, like, did his weird things with him, you know, like,
Did
that
his
seems
weird
like a
things with
guy to
him?
me that seems like a
Like,
guy to me that has weird hobbies, like killing people. If I
so
did that,
you'd kill
he
with
probably
him?
would he probably would spare me.
You just said you'd do
Like,
his
maybe
weird things with him, so would you kill with him?
well, yeah, maybe he needs a sidekick.
Okay, wow. You heard it here first.
I don't know who else I'm supposed to pick. Like, these are all serial killers.
Mhm.
Yeah, I think if you're not
Supposed to be
acting as a
tough.
sidekick for a serial killer, you're cooked. You're also being
Mm,
killed. You're part of the serial.
yep. Okay. Start, bench, cut, scream, primate, and smile.
Which Scream?
The one we
The
just
one we just
watched.
watched or, like
Yep.
okay. Hmm.
Scream 7.
Well, wait, you said Primate and Smile? Okay.
Yes.
I'm gonna tell you right now, I'm cutting Primate.
Okay.
Cutting Primate, that movie irritated me. I think the characters did such stupid things. They were just being stupid, and so it was kinda bothering me, and also, um, I have a fear of monkeys anyways, so I don't wanna have to, like as a coach, I wouldn't wanna look on my bench and see a monkey sitting there. I also wouldn't wanna be watching the game and, like, be watching, like, a chimpanzee, so cut. Okay, next.
Okay.
Next, bench. We are gonna bench Smile. I've actually
Okay.
never gotten through more than 20 minutes of that movie. I
Oh,
am
I thought you've
benching
watched
it.
that.
No, remember we tried to, and I was actually too scared to watch it. So
Well,
that's why
that was
I'm
Smile
not
2.
cutting it.
Have you ever seen Smile 1?
Yeah, no, okay, let me talk. I'm not cutting it because I think it is, like, really scary. I know some people are gonna be like, "It's not that bad," like, whatever. But in my opinion, that is a scary movie, but because I haven't seen it, I don't know if I even like it, so I'm just gonna start Scream because I know that I
Okay.
like it.
Fair. Now, can you rank your top 3 favorite Scream movies? There's 7 of them. Can you rank your top 3? I'll only ask you for 3.
Well, okay, first is gonna be the original, obviously, I feel like that's a given. In second place, it is Scream 5. Yeah. Okay, so Scream 5 is gonna be my second, and then, just because I remember this most recent one the best, that's gonna be my third.
Your 3rd?
Mhm.
Okay.
I
Fair
honestly
enough.
because I don't remember all of them well enough to, like, differentiate between all
Yeah.
of
I
them.
think I've only seen the 1st and 2nd one.
Really?
Yeah.
We should watch the
Like,
whole
on
series.
oh boy. Okay. Now moving on to a movie that has good plot, that has good characters, good character arcs, doesn't rush the movie, is a great start to a franchise. You guessed it, it is Iron Man. Libby and I have watched Iron Man this past week in preparation for Doomsday. Now, I'm going to start this off by saying this movie is way better than I remembered. I have watched this when I was a kid, and on rewatch, it was amazing. And I'll put it up there as one of the most rewatchable movies ever. It is crazy. Now, Libby,
Mhm.
this is your very first Marvel movie, and as a first time
Mhm.
Marvel movie watcher, take the floor. What do you have to say?
I really enjoyed this movie. For anyone out
Woo!
there who's been, worried, okay, if you're like me, I'm not really like a superhero kind of person. That never really was my thing. Like, my family would watch, um, I guess, like, similar kind of, like, concepts, like, a lot of, like, fighting, like, Transformers or Star Wars, stuff like that. It never was my cup of tea, but
Mhm.
watching this movie, I went into it very open-mindedly, and I really, really liked it. Like you said, Aaron, the plot was so good. The way the characters just, like, evolved and everything, very, very well written. How long was this movie? It felt, like,
2 hours maybe?
perfect.
Yeah.
Okay. For 2 hours, it was amazing. I don't know, I always complain about movies being too long and about me getting bored in the middle of them, but you guys, like, this movie was so solid, kept you so engaged the whole
Mhm.
time. Like, this was so good, and just I don't know, I feel like everything was, like, cool, you know? Like, you were moving
Yes.
from so many different places, and when did this come out?
2008?
2008, like, I don't know. Okay, it makes me wish I would've watched it, well, okay, I would've only been 2 when it came out, but I wish I would've
Same.
watched it as a kid because I probably would've liked the, like, concept of superheroes a lot more.
Yes, you definitely would've. Um, Now, would you say that someone never seeing a Marvel movie, this is a great movie to show to them? Was this a great first movie?
Absolutely. This movie's so cool, like, th do you wanna be Iron Man? Because I wanna be Iron Man, bro, and I think anyone who watched this is gonna be like, "Oh my god, look at this dude." First of all, he's a genius, that's so cool. Like,
Mhm.
he's just down in his little workshop, his house first of all, let's talk about his house. Glamorous, okay? And it's, like, on a cliffside, and he's got, like, great views. He's got this cute little assistant. Her name is Pepper. That's so freaking cute. Are you kidding me? Her name's Pepper. And he's just a brainiac. He's got this robot machine that listens to him. Like it
Mhm.
it can like put him out if he starts himself on fire. Like how did he even create that? That's so cool. And he makes
And
his own suit and he figures out how to fly and
yes.
the best part, in my opinion, the best part is that once he becomes stranded and realizes his products are being used for bad reasons, and he decides to, like, change up the whole game and, like, think about, like, people and put humanity first. Oh my god, I'm like, "Wow, what a great guy." Like, he didn't care about the money, he didn't care about what other people thought of him, he cared about doing the right thing. What a superhero, bro, oh my gosh, like, arguably the best superhero, and I haven't even seen any other superhero movies, but I feel like Iron Man is gonna stick with me.
Wow. I feel like a proud father right now. I put you on some serious material right here.
Yeah, you put me on, bro.
Yeah, I mean, you already said everything. I was just gonna say, like, moving on, the character arc in this movie is really what makes this movie amazing. This
Mhm,
is really what differentiates a action movie from, I'd say, here's an action movie, and then here is Iron Man, okay? And yes, it's an action movie, but there's so much more to it. There's storytelling, and there's plot, there's characters who have emotions and deeper meanings and deeper pasts. Like Iron Man, Libby, you learned a little bit of his past where his dad and his mom had died, and he had said that, there's some he didn't get to say goodbye. There's some things he wished he would have said. He's starting to kind of
mhm,
rethink what his dad was really trying to accomplish with this company, and is it really trying to sell these mass destructive weapons to people? And you start to realize, like, wow, this playboy billionaire, there's some serious things behind, the things that he says. And I think that this movie should be really called Tony Stark because yes, you see him start to become Iron Man, but this movie is really about Tony Stark and his character. I mean, in the
mhm,
beginning, you see him, he's all about that fame, he's got a big ego, he wants that money. All he is
mhm.
is doing whatever it takes to get that next big paycheck, and he's doing whatever it takes to get himself on that front
Mhm.
cover, whatever it
Mhm.
is. He's trying to get with all the girls he can, and then
Yeah.
he has a rude awakening. But this rude awakening is the best thing that could have ever happened to him. He's in captivity. He realizes what his weapons are truly doing, and then he also meets this guy who he kind of sees what true family and what a true man looks like. This man helped someone for no reason but the goodness out of his heart. And
Mhm.
his family was already dead and already gone. And he decided to help him anyway. And then when he says, "Come on, let's go, we gotta go," and he's like, "No, Tony Stark." He's like, this is what's meant to happen. He's like, "I'm happy." And he's like, "I'm going home to my family." And that moment hit. Cause you're like, wow,
It was
that's
so
crazy.
sad.
Yes.
And you could tell it really stuck with Tony Stark too, because he had learned that this man was from a city, and I don't even remember what the city was called, but when he heard that his company's, like, bombs were being used to bomb that city, he flew over there and he wiped out all those like, soldiers. They were, like, low-key kinda like the Taliban. They were just violating families and tearing them apart. He wiped them all out, and he's like, "Here you go, guys. I'll let you take care of the last one." Like, what a cool guy, like, didn't have to do that, went against country's orders. He could have gotten in so much trouble, that he did that because he's like, "No, you know what? A good man came from this city, so I'm gonna be a good man for this city."
Yes, exactly. Couldn't have said it better. And, you know, the suit and everything is cool. Him creating the suit is cool. It sets up
Mhm,
for the future. But the reason that this movie really works is because Tony and how he changes, and you really don't have Iron Man without learning who Tony is and why he is the way he is, right?
mhm,
And that's what makes this movie the way it is. Um and also let's throw a little bit of light on the villain who it really was not a it wasn't a very complicated concept why this villain becomes the villain, but it makes
mhm,
sense and it's such a real and here's the thing too. Like this movie, it's also real. Like you can maybe I mean, okay, maybe it'd be hard to relate with some of these people, but like these could happen. These situations happen in real life. Like this
I'm sure these
guy,
situations are happening right now.
yes, like the villain, right? He's supposed to be the, face of Stark Industries, but then Tony comes up and he takes all the fame, and then he gets greedy and he wants the power, and he sees this little sliver of opening when Tony Stark gets back from captivity, which actually the captivity was because of him, right? And
Mhm,
so this you see him trying to betray Tony Stark because of this greed, this fame. He wants the fame because Tony Stark has been in the light this entire time. And so I think this is truly genius because it's not hard to understand, yet it's so strong and so powerful.
mhm, and honestly, it did surprise me. Once I realized everything, I was like, "Wow," like, this man is stabbing Tony Stark in the back. It surprised me, but you're right, like, it made complete sense, and it was very well executed, like, all these plans, like, I can't even think of any plot holes with it. Like, everything made so much sense.
Now, what is the one quote you're gonna take from this movie? Do you know?
Is there supposed to be, like, a
There's
specific
one
one?
there's one amazing quote that you should remember from this movie. I'll just remind you. And you gotta remember this quote because everyone loves this quote. If you want to fit in with all the MCU nerds, remember this quote, okay? It's when he says, "Tony built this in a cave with a box of scraps." Do you remember that when he's talking to the scientists, the engineers?
Yeah.
That quote is
Yeah, I do.
loved. So remember that one,
I
okay?
thought I thought the quote you were gonna tell me to remember was the one where he's at the interview and he goes, "I am Iron Man."
Oh, that no, that one's Aura too.
Bro,
I
That one's
Remember that
aura.
one
I'm
too.
telling you, like,
Yes.
when he just, like, owns up to it. When he did that, I was like, "You know what? He can say that, bro. He can say that,
Yes.
like,
Well,
there's no need for
and
him
it
to hide." I'd be proud of it, bro. If I was Iron Man, I'd be like, "Yeah, guys, I'm
yeah.
Iron Man. I know. Gas me up."
It's funny too because she was like he doesn't like to be clocked and he got clocked because she was like, "We never said you were a superhero." And he's like, "You know what? The truth is, I am Iron Man," because he was not about to take that. He's not
Yeah.
about to sit there and think, "Wow, she really got me." He's like, "Nah, screw that."
Yeah. That girl became so annoying, oh my god. Day 1
Yeah.
trying to get into his pants, and then as soon as she does, then she starts flaming him for stuff that's, like, out of his control. And then he's
Right.
like,
But then
"You know what?
Pepper
I'm
goes,
not gonna take." Yeah, Pepper goes, "You know what else I do? I take out the trash." Okay, Pepper, I
mm-hmm.
love Pepper. She's awesome.
Tell the fans what you ship in this movie.
What do you mean?
When we were watching the movie,
Oh,
you told me
that I ship Pepper and Tony Stark?
you hear that, guys? She ships Pepper and Tony Stark. Is it the most craziest thing you've ever
Why is
heard?
that crazy?
You'll see.
Doesn't
You'll see
everyone
why it's crazy.
probably?
You'll see.
Do they end up being siblings?
Imagine. No, I'm just kidding. They get together. You'll see though.
Okay, wait, why would you spoil. No, Aaron, I hate spoilers.
No, you knew. You had to have known. There's so much chemistry.
Well, don't tell me when it happens, okay? I
Okay,
wanna
I
feel the
won't.
authentic emotion.
That's good. Well, you heard it here first, guys. Iron Man. It's an amazing movie to introduce to someone who has never seen Marvel, who has never like really been into superhero movies. It's great. You've heard a take from someone who has seen the MCU. I've seen every movie in the MCU. I've seen most of the shows. And you've also just heard a take from someone who has never even seen anything MCU related until now. And she loved it. So I'm excited to see
Mhm.
where this MCU journey takes us. I've got a lot more to show you, Libby, and I hope you enjoy them. But this week kind of proves something here that, you can have a movie like Scream that has great mystery and you can lose it completely to motive if you don't have a motive that lands, if you don't have a good explanation for why people are doing the things that they're doing. The movie could crumble. But then you can have a $1 billion universe and a character that has an arc and a character that's so strongly related to feelings that it makes sense. So the real question is, does it come down to if a movie has enough twists and enough mystery, will it beat out the fact that the killers don't really make sense? Or are we just hitting this movie a little too hard? Or am I hitting this movie a little too hard? Am I judging it? Am I critiquing this movie way too hard? Was it good enough to watch?
You know, the thing is, I I guess you could say you're coming at it a little headstrong, but I feel like a lot of the new movies we're seeing now have, it's almost like lazy script writing or lazy, like, story writing, you know? You and I just keep finding plot holes, and then look at that, we just watched a movie from how many years ago? Almost 10 years ago? Wait, no, almost 20 years
Longer
ago.
than that. Yeah.
Almost 20 years ago, and it was just written much better, so I don't know if there's some, like, laziness taking over the industry right now or what's going on, but
Yeah.
I'm not
That's
sure.
why, yeah. That's why my final take on it is I think it was rushed. I think, Scream has been loved and and I think that
It might
I
be
don't
time
want
to
to.
retire the series.
Possibly. If you're watching on YouTube, hit that subscribe button, hit that like button. Make sure to put that bell on so you know when we post. And check out Spotify and Apple Podcasts if you ever listen on that. And without further ado, thank you guys for watching and
We'll see you guys next time.